Okay, so I'm doing a inclination change burn to put this thing on an equatorial orbit. This is a lot of near future electric propulsion, reactors, spacecraft, a whole bunch of stuff here is near future. There's very little on this thing that's actually stock. Even the processing lab is not stock because it seats 6 people now. There's a couple structural bits here that are standard, like little nose cones here, and some lights, I think, somewhere, some radio equipment. Other than that, this is all modded. Every single bit of this thing is modded. It means it's quite overkill for what I'm trying to make it do. I put it in a polar moon orbit and did a resource scan of the moon, and mapping terrain and the radar altimeter thing and all the other fun stuff that comes with ScanSat. And now at this point I'm going to throw it into a equatorial orbit, and then I think we're going to go shoot for Minmus with either this spacecraft or another one just like it. What I'm trying to do is get some flight time on this complicated looking mess here so I can figure out what works, what doesn't, what needs to be changed. And if it does work, then I'll go somewhere else with it. If it doesn't, I'll just adjust it as need be. So you notice my skybox looks a little weird here. I got these little lines here. This is a texture replacer skybox. It is Milky Way galaxy. The sun's also nice and spectacularly bright. It looks quite fantastic when you do like a cinematic view of your stuff. It looks very nice. For the fact my mouse is like drifting across the screen, but we can get rid of that just like that. So I got some nice blue glowy stars in the background there with probably young hot O-type stars or B-type stars, and then looks like I don't know if the Pleiades are down there or not. That might be the Pleiades. This is the Milky Way, so if you can pick out constellations out of this mess, then that's pretty cool. But I don't know which is what is where. I suppose the Polaris would be up there somewhere. Oh, what is that? That's hella bright. That's not Polaris. Polaris would be right up in here. So yeah, if all these other stars are kind of drowning everything else out, so I can't really make heads or tails of what I'm looking at. But yeah, anyway. Skybox, custom Skybox. It looks phenomenal. And Kerbin has got clouds and stuff and city lights that show up as visible on the nighttime. Oh yeah, and then if you're on the dark side of the moon, it's dark. There's like nothing, it's just this big black hole of nothingness. It's pretty cool. So I like it. I gotta worry about making sure I get inclination as close to 0 as I can get. So we gotta go Kerbal Engineer, we do orbital. The inclination is 8 degrees and dropping. I probably can wait till I get to around the equator and then I can do some more of that burn. I don't need to do all of it. I don't think I should do all of it before I get to the equator. So we'll go up a little bit and then we'll power this mess again. And yeah, I got remote tech going because I can see KSC is lit up by mission control. Alright, coming up on equatorial here. Okay, I passed it, so I'm actually a little bit above the equator now. That's fine. That's cool. That's acceptable. We'll tell our ship to go maintain prograde. Now I do have a bunch of lights on this thing. You notice the dark side of the spacecraft is also pitch black, but that's okay. I have lights. Shed some light on the subject. Fortunately, I think this spacecraft is wrong. The left side of the spacecraft is supposed to have red lights. The mnemonic to remember that is there any red port wine left? And I always forget it. I just took a screenshot. Derp. Alright. So now that I'm done with the maneuver, well, I gotta think about where I'm gonna do the maneuver to kick us out into Minmus orbit, Minmus territory. So we have to go around here. This is not the ideal place to do it, I don't think. So well, maybe we'll get lucky. We'll get close, perhaps. Set that as a target. Alright, so with very little effort, I'm gonna go... I'm gonna go sunbound here in a minute, so... Yeah, we're way early for this. What happens if I just slew this around some? Well, that's gonna put me pretty much... Yeah, that's not what I want to do either. Not quite what I want to do. It's been a while since I've actually had to like plan anything heavy duty in the game at all. Do this a little bit here. Oh, I want to go a little bit out. A little bit out. Well, even that little bit of extra burn that I'm doing is kicking me way out from the moon. I don't want to be crazy kicked out. That might actually be better. Alright, so one of the things I can do here since I have remote tech is I can say aim at the node and execute it. So it's going to go ahead and aim at the node, and then in an hour and 7 minutes it'll execute the maneuver. Looks like I got to do a 46-second burn for 116 meters per second, because these engines don't make a lot of power. These are magnetohydrodynamic engines. They run off lithium fuel. They're pretty fun, pretty cool. But they only make, well, they make pretty awesome specific impulse, but much better than an LVM for sure. But because I need so much electricity to work, I need to throw on a nuclear reactor on this thing. So this thing actually has quite a bit of not fuel mass on it. Because the ISP is so tremendously huge, it doesn't really matter so much. I have approximately 7,700 meters per second of delta V on tap, or whatever I want to do with it. So I could basically go to Joule and back and not even break a sweat. I think the issue I'd have to worry about is the lifespan of the reactors. You can't leave these things on all the time because you only need them when you're using the main engines. I have smaller reactors here, which are basically set to 50% power setting, and they make 30 charge a second, so once the sun gets falls away, or I'm too far, I'm in a shadow period, or I'm too far out, or whatever, these solar panels become useless, then, or I'm like head on with the sun, then I have little itty-bitty reactors to provide power for the spacecraft to run all the science equipment and lights and goodies and washers and dryers and refrigerators and everything else I got on this thing. So yeah, that's kind of the thought I had for that. Okay, so I can go ahead and... Wrong part. Everything looks kind of skeletal and everything, so I can deactivate the reactors. And then we can fast forward some. We'll go to 5 minutes out, and then we'll go ahead and do the burn. 5 minutes out. Check my thermals, make sure I'm not burning anything up. Alright, so now that I'm 5 minutes away, we'll start the reactor. This is part of the near future electrical mod, I believe, so I can go reactor control and I get to see all the reactors I have on board. I have the Excalibur fission reactors warming up, and they'll hit about 900 degrees, and that's where they're going to sit. If they get above 1300 degrees, you will have issues burning the things out. They do not like being hot. The smaller ones are even less tolerant, but they only need to be 750 degrees. But I have them set for half power. So that's that. So now they're generating full power. We're sitting here in the dark. It's really dark. We can make the spacecraft pretty much disappear in the moon if we wanted to. Pretty much it's not there anymore. There's a few little lights from the battery, from the multi-purpose octogrider as part of near future construction. Other than that, this thing has completely disappeared in the moon, so let's make it visible again. And it looks spectacularly awesome when you're looking at, although with the sun in view, I notice the sky darkens even though you're in the shadow of the moon. It's like, hey, what's up with that, guys? But, you know, the pretty stars, purples and blues. So it's going to do this maneuver all by itself. I don't have to do anything. It's going to toggle this thing up so I can actually fast forward some. And once it gets within time, it'll just automatically kick itself out of time warp, and here you go. It's doing the burn all by itself. Isn't that cool? Very nifty. Now you notice I have up here, I have Infernal Robotics tool button here. This particular spacecraft does not have any Infernal Robotics parts, but I have another one in Kerbal orbit that does. I'll show that off in a bit. Really, at this point, I'm playing with the mods. I'm not really trying to do a career or anything. I'm just getting used to them. Because eventually I want to do a career playthrough with all this stuff tossed on here. Eventually. And there you go. Like it pretty much made it, and automatically kills the burn. Now I have found that I'm trying to press T and it just kind of flickers here. Like, what's up with this? Remote tech is causing a conflict, so you gotta here kill that. So it's mode off. And now you can turn on, you can pilot it yourself. You don't have to worry about the remote tech flight computer from doing it for you. Ah, glowy bits. Perfect. So I've been running the engines hard, and all this residual heat has to go somewhere, and for some silly reason, the heat wants to go into these tiny coolant fins first. Yeah, 60%. Yeah, that's fun. So we'll go ahead and deactivate that reactor. I don't need it right now. Okay, now that I'm out here in the weeds, I can plan a maneuver, put me in orbit, or get me an intersect with Minimus. See if I can get anything at all close. Probably not. I'm guessing I know why. I need to change my inclination. We'll go ahead and sending node. Oh, too much. Okay, so 32 meters per second is a 5-second burn. I might be able to do that just off battery power. I don't know if I have to apply reactor power to do that. If I run out of power, it's not a huge groundbreaking thing because I have solar powers and other reactors, other power sources on this thing. But in case I'm worried about it, I can kill some of that stuff. Now I just lost my connection with KSC. That's no big deal. If I want more power available, I can retract some of these radiators because I have plenty of them. The reactors are really there to keep, or not the reactors, the radiators are there to keep the reactors from overheating. Because once the reactors overheat, you're done. There's not much else you can do. Kill some of these too. I should really put these in action groups. But I don't. I have not. Alright, so that antenna is dead. I have a number of antenna on here. I think we'll kill this guy. And then we'll kill this guy. This is a bigger version of the stock 16, Communicron 16. This is 32. It does more range. Oh, I'll kill all those. Because those are just powered parasites on my reactor. Okay, we have no transmitters of any kind. We'll kill that. Alright, so what's this thing say I'm draining now? So power drain per second is less than 1. I'm producing 66. So that's okay. It's pretty good. I can go even less. Oh yeah, 0.1. So something is causing a slight, I think it's these things here, they're causing a slight drain on power, but that's okay. I'm making more than enough. And that'll be good. Alright, so it'll do this burn automatically, so we're just going to go ahead and time accelerate ourselves out of here. Transition to other sphere of influence. And time warp time. Okay, so it's getting close to it, but it's not quite there yet. Notice I'm draining my power out a whole bunch. Oh, yeah. Reactor control time. Reactor. I think if I was facing the sun, that'd be a little better too. Oh no! Reactor. This thing doesn't know what to do now. Okay, here we go. Come on, come on, come on. You can do it. Maintain that. Be perfect. Alright. Now it's like freaking out trying to maintain the burn. It's fine. Just kill it. Runaway ship! Cut it down. Cut it down. Kill that node. Alright, so what's my inclination look like now? A little overkill. A little overkill. Oh, geez, I totally shot past that mess. Alright. Recovery time. I need to go... I need to kill this. Kill it. Alright, so that destroyed it. Alright, so I need to go down some, right? Yep, I need to go that way. So we're just going to do this manually. So we're going to maintain that maneuver there. Oh, that's right, duh. I saved the engines as an emergency measure because I was so worried about blowing past everything. Cool warm-up sound. And then, boom, do it. Power status is good. Eyeballing that ascending node there. There you go. Good. Okay. How's my overheat status looking? Nope. I probably had this thing overcooled to begin with, but hey, redundancy is a great thing, right? Alright, so here we go. Let's have maneuver up here. Let's get ourselves in. I got this crazy oddball. Oh, so here you go. Perfect. I was gonna get something. How's that looking? Alright. Node and execute. 49 meters per second. I don't have to do a lot. I can really just do this manually and be done with it. But whatever. I can kind of consider remote tech to be like MechJeb Lite. It has a lot of cool functionality with it. It automates some of the mundane tasks, but it's not quite nearly as full-featured as MechJeb. You can't do an ascent with it. Well, I haven't figured out how to do an ascent with this thing. I don't think it's possible. But you can stack a bunch of commands into the flight computer and have them execute them in sequence, like staging commands and all the fun stuff. But since you have to worry about light speed delays, it becomes kind of an issue. That just looks awesome. This weird square thing from the lens flare. Like, what is that, guys? I dare say it looks kind of cool. Derp. Well, that's kind of neat. You can hide all the trash on the screen. Except for this. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to our maneuver. And I gotta wait 11 days. So yeah, guess what? We're not gonna run this reactor the whole time. Because I have to be... I'll probably run out of fuel long before I run out of reactor power, but whatever. Okay, now that we're close enough, I can worry about it. Start that reactor. And start that reactor.
You pushed me!
Oops, wrong button. I am not locked. Okay, there we go. I want to rotate somewhat so I'm facing the sun with my panels. I don't think this will trip out remote text flight computer at all. I don't think it will. There we go. This will help provide more power for the engines in case reactors haven't warmed up in time, but I got plenty of power. I got plenty of time left. And any second now, I'll kick it out time warp. Oh, see, there you go. That's what happens when your reactors get nice and toasty warm. So hey, we got power to spare. Somehow I said, hey, guess what? We're gonna overheat now. Like, what the heck? So yes, you can't run your reactors with no drain for some reason. That's okay though, they'll cool off. See? Already. Now they're warming up again because I'm using them. See, it's fun. This is why I'm doing this here in this relatively safe environment around Kerbin, because then if I screw up too badly, I can just rescue the crew. Of course, this is Sandbox, so it doesn't really matter all that much. And bam, we are captured. And I'll have a periapsis under 1,000,000 meters. Now that that's done, I can turn these off. Don't need you guys for a while. Slew ourselves around. Sphere of influence changed. Speed us way down. I got a day and an hour to do a deceleration burn. Looks like I'm retrograde. That's okay. Get a somewhat circular orbit. Good enough. Right there. Alright. So, node, execute. 38 meters per second. And I got a day to wait. Now if I hit F11, look at the heat status. It looks like everything's nice and cooled off again. These like getting warmed. You can see them warming up already. Heat generation is still kind of a thing I'm trying to get used to. I don't have it down pat yet. That's okay. Alright, so we're going to execute all that. Good. I think we'll go ahead and get some comms going with KSC, so... yeah, sure, that'll work. Transmit. Okay. Looks like I'm connected. But it doesn't look like I have a do I? Yeah, it doesn't have comms with KSC yet. Once it gets in orbit a little bit further along, I'll have comms with KSC, and this will change to yellow. Okay, so those are still off. I'll wait some. Alright, I need the reactor like right now. Start. Yeah, if I didn't have that turned on, I would have issues. Let's get some solar coverage here. It's like it's resisting my efforts to turn it. But that's okay. Previous iterations of this spacecraft did not have this weird truss-looking framework on the sides of the habitat section, which is all this. Crew lives, breathes, eats, and sleeps all in here. All this is engineering section and beyond. No crew access, nothing, it's just kind of there. A little bit more, here we go. 1.0, sure, alright. Reactor status, warming up good, that should be enough. And boom. It was less than it thought. And looks like our power status is maintaining itself nicely. This thing has a lot of batteries on board. But even with that, this thing will suck itself dry so fast. Without those reactors, it's not even funny. So let's go ahead and see what the requirements are for a Minmus scan. Oh, Minmus looks kind of rocky and stuff here. Alright, where's my antenna for that? Lights, please. Deploy the scanner. I need to be 25 to 300, so I'm too far up. Okay. Okay, so I need to think, what maneuver do I want to do? Kids in the background being knuckleheads. Okay. Yeah, sure, we'll go that way. That's fine. Now that I have local control of the spacecraft, the pilot that has control, it's a lot more responsive to my command inputs roll. That's basically all I'm doing is rolling it to make sure the panels are nice and spaced good with the sun. Those crazy kids in the background are being weird, but that's okay. Okay. Alright, so now at this point, my reactors are on. We can do this and maintain. Whoa, that's too much. I'm changing my vector so fast it can't even keep up with the node. Because it's that little gravity. I'm only going 43 meters per second. But yeah, with this engine power, I could shut down a reactor and maintain it with just one. Or if I wanted to be really slow, I could turn both reactors off and do it off solar power, but it'd be such partial power, it'd be kind of slow and silly. If they glowed blue, it'd be even more cool, but because blue stuff means science is happening. A little more. Yeah, I'm drifting off the vector marker. A little bit. Yeah. That's pretty polar, I think. And boom, kill it. Alright, so now I need to do retrograde. I need to drop quite a bit of altitude in order to get a nice scan of Minmus. We'll go for 100,000 meters, which is like a tenth of what I'm at now. The other thing I don't like about the near future stuff is the IVA mode. I got this button here which is to dim the display. Other than that, it's pretty functional. I can turn off my cabin lights and have just the instrumentation itself providing the lighting. I got some cameras on here. It's pretty cool. Oops, looks like I missed my maneuver. Yeah, look at that velocity just going away. I say 250? 237 is good enough. Alright, so that's in a day and 5 hours. We can add a maneuver. We can shrinkify that a lot. We can go node, execute. Now if I don't like SAS torque being so minimal on this thing, I can just go ahead and go find RCS power. I have some RCS thrusters up here. Up near, I guess, the shoulders of the ship. I need to have some down here, though, actually. But I was worried about. You can't have RCS thrusters hanging away against your radiators. That's bad news, man. Maybe I'd put them. I gotta put them far away from the center mass as I got. Center mass is basically the reactors. I got them up here. It'll kick in the thrusters in a minute to slow itself down. Yep, there we go. Good enough. Alright. A day and some change, huh? Okay. Turn that off. You're off? Yeah, sometimes you hit the button and it's like, nope. Okay. I got comms, I don't have it. I don't. Okay, overheat warnings. Anything getting too hot? There's these guys again. They just love running hot, I don't know. Start those reactors. And you notice I have a whole bunch of fuel left in here, and very little of it's turned into depleted fuel. If you leave the reactors on the whole time, you have about 5 years worth of lifespan. I'm using them perhaps a fraction of 100% duty cycle, like maybe 5% duty cycle time, so 5 years will actually last me 50 or 500 years. A lot longer than I plan to have this save running. Alright, so get to it. And... oh, there's that overheat warning again. Hurry up and get there. There we go. Time warp is done. I can just kill those now. Okay, great. Now that we're in stable orbit around Minmus at the proper altitude. What? Oh, you're kidding me, right? You can't even do this remote, like, locally. I have to have comms with KS... I do have comms. Oh, I got comms with something else. I gotta wait for that thing to swing around to get communications with KSC. And then I can do this. Means I might be waiting for a while. There we go. Perfect. I have comms. Alright. Wrong widget. There we go. Where's Minmus now? Alright, so that's Minmus. Receive variable survey from Minmus. Okay, so I got a bunch of stuff that I'm showing. Let's go here. And then I can look to see what Minmus actually looks like. So I can go... nope, nope, nope. I can look at dirt. Or... change my cutoff rates. Alright, so where's my... do I have flats that have it? Huh. This looks a lot less flat than I'm used to. Well, that's cool. Anywhere over here would work great. This is kind of hilly over here. This is a flat area here, but I'd worry about shadows. And then I could look at some other stuff too, figure out what are exotic minerals. Hydrates. Well, the poles, of course. Carbonite. Doesn't have carbonite. Doesn't look like... oh, it does. So yeah, all sorts of neat stuff. Atmosphere is what? I don't know what that stuff is. Whatever. Alright, so we can go ahead and retract the scanner. Oh, did it kill it? It did it? Didn't it? Okay, good. I was hoping it wasn't going to leave it lit like that. But anyway, that's me having fun with remote tech and near future stuff, lots of it, and trying not to overheat all my toys, because that's never a good thing, overheating your stuff. And the cool nifty Skybox texture replacer thing here. And distant Earth in the background, not Earth. Kind of looks like Earth though, all with clouds and stuff on it. I was like, hey, sweet. Anyway, one more thing before we go. Well, let's just go to Space Center and do it. Once it'll load. We will go to Tracking Center. And we're going to look at 2B. Or not 2B.
Why are you talking?
Alright, so this guy right here is similar, but not quite the same thing. I actually managed to get the lights on the right side. Are they on already? They were. Okay, great. So, red port, wine left. So, is there any red port, wine left? So this is the left side of the spacecraft looking to the right for us. So this is the left side, and it's red. Means green side is the other side. Don't blame me.
You think the other ones are
I was a soldier, not a sailor. So I go activate camera, and now I'm like, hey, look it. I'm looking through the view of the camera now. Now I can go like this. I can slew myself around and totally kill my sensor by looking at the sun. Now I can look at Kerbin zooming way in on it. And if I want, I can slew the thing. Now I have a limited elevate rate. Basically I can fix it at 90 degrees and that's it. And what I don't know is if thing actually moves this stuff around, will actually affect the ship. Like if I sit here and just spin it for a while, will the ship actually begin to spin on its own in the opposite direction? Kind of like, I don't know, a flywheel. Be kind of cool, isn't it? So yeah, we can see the pixelated glory of the sky map texture by zooming way in on it. It's kind of neat, huh? And I can say, alright, set, hold this down, it'll move to its default position, kill the sensor again. And there you go. I'm now fixed. Oh hey, what is that? Is that moon? Gotta see if that's moon. That looks like moon. I should probably adjust the tracking speed of this thing so I can do it properly. That looks like Minmus. Oh, it would be Minmus because I'm tracked way above. Let's see if I can find moon with this. I wonder if Kerbin's blocking the moon. Which would be kind of the pity, but moon should be very easy to spot. Yeah, that was Minmus. And moon is... yeah, moon's the other side. So let's put this thing into the shadow period of Kerbin so we don't kill the sensor by staring at the sun accidentally, because that's kind of bad for him, you know? Alright, there you go. Now we get a nice daytime shot of the sun, or at the moon. It's lit by the sun. The other way here. Watch my spacecraft itself block my view. That would just be killer, wouldn't it? Hey Jeb, can you maintain prograde for me, please? Thanks. Because I have a feeling I'm painting, the engines are pointing right at it. Yep, see, I called it. That was that. Watch the ship slowly track around. I guess that's one way to help train the ship, is to say, alright, fine, I'll aim the entire ship at the target, which is kind of reminiscent to the book 2001: A Space Odyssey, when Mr. Bowman had to disable the AE-35 unit. Can I get back to my stuff? There we go. Orbital! We should just remember it. Alright, so there we go. That's kind of silly. This here is a moisture sensor. So I can collect soil data. And yeah, I got high levels of water content over much of Kerbin's surface. Yeah, I kind of figured I'd have that. Let's kill those lights. Activate the camera. Now you can't use, I haven't figured out keyboard commands to do all this mess, so we gotta go like this. Where is Moon? Oh, okay, so I gotta aim the ship down some. Then I can compensate by elevating the scanner. Alright, let's get ourselves a nice shot of the moon. Actually, you know what? Oops. Ah! Can't see anything. Alright, so I have the ability to change the speed at which this thing moves. Alright, now I can kill that. Jeb, can you keep this thing aimed still, please? Thanks. Actually, it's not even Jeb in here. Oh, that's cool. That is pretty nifty. Hide the mouse. I can tell that the ship's still wobbling around. This isn't distant objects enhancement, this is standard. So let's see. And now we're slewed right where we need to be. Oops, that's putting the sensor away. So this thing, when it's kept in its normal position, ready to do stuff, we can turn that off. Deactivate scanner, alright. So if I want to put this thing away, I just hold this button down, and the entire sensor arm folds down nice and flat against the surface of the habitation section, just like that. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to have it up. This is how it was launched. I had to fit this thing inside the shroud, so I had to figure out a way to do it. And after I got it smashed up here, I then had to play with it and use it, and I'm like, hey, this is really cool! Why didn't I get remote or stinking Infernal Robotics earlier? Because it's totally awesome. So yeah, this is my latest little toy. I still got some of the boosters here, but I haven't flung this thing elsewhere yet. I might just throw it around Minimus orbit and get a nice shot of Kerbin from a distance. That'd be kind of fun. But yeah, anyway, that was that. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all on the flip side. Have a nice day.